Hello Libra, and welcome to the eternal city of Obsidian. My name is TESA Taboo, and this is Tessa's Tarot, soon to be changed to TESA Taboo. Welcome to my channel where we talk about everything that has to do with tarot, oracle, astrology, psychology, spirituality, and cosmic consciousness. So this is your mid-December 2020 Oracle and Tarot reading, and boy, do I have a lot of information for you today. I kicked off this series of readings yesterday. I did Capricorn, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aquarius. So this is my day 2. And even though I have been filming YouTube videos every month and bi-monthly, for the zodiac signs, for some reason it feels like this specific series of videos, I feel like this big time frame has gone by since the last time I posted a video, but that's not the case at all. I did tarot readings for December 2020, and I'm doing my mid-month like I always do, monthly and mid-month. But the time, ever since we entered Sagittarius season, the time that has gone by between the time of me doing the December videos and now feels like a long time. And I think it's because I've had to go through a lot of personal things in the last just couple of weeks. My birthday was December 1st, and pretty much at the start of December, like, I've kind of just been in this other world, in my emotions and I've been in my feels, okay? I've been in my feels. So it could have been triggered by my birthday, it's very possible. But, like, I'm somebody who likes to dive into astrology. And ever since I've gotten to know myself on a more personal and intimate level through astrology, which kicked off earlier in the year through tarot, and as you'll learn watching my channel, tarot is a mathematical formula. It's a system based off of astrology, so there's a lot of dimensions to it, which is what makes it so fascinating. There's so many dimensions to tarot, and it has its roots in astrology. So, I'm definitely, enjoying incorporating astrology into my videos as time goes on, and into my tarot readings for you guys as time goes on. It kind of provides a kind of bigger picture of what's going on. So, anyway, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I have been wanting to film a video that would be titled, like, Get to Know Me Through Astrology, and I was planning on filming that video before doing my mid-December, and then ultimately I decided to do the mid-December readings for you guys first, and then once I wrap up 2020 with these videos, to then, post something that would transition a little bit more of what I want my channel to be about, and the goal of my channel, which ultimately is for you guys to get to know me on a more personal, intimate level, and for me to get to know you guys on a more personal, intimate level. With that being said, like, I'm working on being able to do birth chart and natal chart and tarot readings for you guys. So I'm developing a website, and I've got different projects in the works, let's put it that way. But in the last couple of weeks, I haven't really been doing a lot, just because I've been kind of dealing with some inner child issues. If you guys know about the comet Chiron, which orbits around the sun in between Saturn and Uranus, Chiron is the wounded healer. He manifests as deep inner wounds that stem from early childhood that we carry with us throughout our whole lives and that get triggered during specific transits, and then we have to work through them throughout our lives, and we have to heal them. The plus about the Chiron, the wounded healer, is that it is this very specific wound that allows you, that gives you the gift to heal other people. Okay, so that's kind of the summary on Chiron. So my Chiron has been like in my face. Okay, so my Chiron has been in my face, and Chiron is currently retrograde, which, kind of brings up issues in and of itself, and it's in retrograde in Aries, which has to do with the self and how we view ourselves. So this has been a very interesting time for me, to say the least. But through all that, I'm learning a lot about value, okay? And that's what, and it's all connected to what I'm going to be talking about in this specific video for you guys, because it plays into the bigger theme that is going on in the world right now in the year 2020 and what is to come. So I promise you it's all relevant. Now, okay, so going back to like how it's all connected, one of my big childhood wounds is, understanding my value system, and, my Chiron is in Taurus, and Taurus is all about our values, our personal possessions, our values, our self-worth. And because my Chiron is in Taurus, it has to do with early childhood wounds of, experiencing things that are taken away from you, so it's kind of like this, you kind of grow up and are wired to feel like everything is temporary, like nothing is permanent, and which personally I don't really think is a bad way to perceive life, generally speaking, but it also kind of jades your value system. Okay, it kind of jades your value system, and it's hard to like place value in things. So I've kind of been trying to feel the depth of what I value and what I feel like, of my own like self-worth and things like that. Now, the reason why this is relevant is because, okay, so 2020, the year 2020 has been a huge, yes, it's been a mess, but it's been a huge wake-up call, right, for everybody. It's been a huge wake-up call. And Mother Earth has kind of like reached its breaking point, just like she's had enough, okay? And it's like, everything has been in our face. I don't think there's a single person who hasn't had to go through some kind of personal transformation, through some kind of learning experience on a deeper level, emotional level, physical level, psychological level, spiritual level, all of that. So the greatest lesson that needs to be taken away from 2020, and I can already see this on social media, I can already see this on the things that people are talking about. People are talking about what they're grateful for. They're talking about being appreciative of what you already have, because we have been consuming so much of Earth. Everything in our lives up until this point has been consume, work, information consumption, material consumption, possessions, and it was through this experience, it was through this feeling of my lack of like value in like personal property and in personal possessions that I came to realize that we are in this stage right now where we really need to decide exactly what it is that we find meaning, and like what it is that we hold true meaning and true value in, and what is it that is just there to feed our ego. So there needs to be a separation of the two. There needs to be an understanding of our deeper values, our deeper meaning, and that which is just feeding our ego. It's not sustainable. Okay, it can be discarded. It can be let go of, because we're about to enter a new cycle. Okay, which leads me to the next point as to why this is all relevant. We're about to enter a new cycle where Libra, specifically you guys and other air signs, Gemini, Aquarius, you guys are kind of at the forefront of this. So this new cycle that we're about to enter is going to happen on December 21st, 2020, and it's the great Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in Aquarius. So we are entering into this new stage of evolution where the Jupiter-Saturn, the biggest cosmic bodies in our solar system, are going to be in the signs of air, okay? And it's kicking off in Aquarius. Every 20 years we have this great conjunction in an air sign, but it lasts for 200 years. So this is going to be happening for 200 years, and it's going to change our reality. It's going to switch our whole, it's going to switch the way that we approach the world. So for the last 200 years, that element that we have been harboring has been in the earth energies, okay? So you see how things are kind of connecting. So for the last 200 years, it's been in earth signs. Jupiter and Saturn are currently in Capricorn. On December 21st, they're switching into Aquarius. So with that 200 years in earth, we are the ones who are living in 2020. We're the ones who are here to learn the lesson of the last 200 years of that earth energy. We're here to learn the lesson before we go into this new era. And that lesson has to do with our value system. That lesson has to do with the characteristics and qualities that fall into the Taurus sign, the Taurus element. And this isn't just something that's made up, okay? There is a reason why it is focused on Taurus. And it's because Taurus, the planet Uranus, which is ruled by Aquarius, which has to do with revolution, with reconstruction, with progressive thinking, with future-oriented, sustainable, humanitarian, social justice, all that type of stuff that brings us into the future with a more sustainable mind frame, is in the sign of Taurus. So we are here as we transition from this 200 years of earth energy into this next phase of air energy. We need to take with us the deeper lessons, because Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's a fixed earth sign, which means that it grounds. It keeps that which is beautiful. Okay, it puts value in that which can produce beautiful results on a global level. So with Uranus being in Taurus, while we enter into this new era of air, with it being in Aquarius, it's going to be about taking with us from these last 200 years what we've learned in terms of what we value on a material level. And now we need to enter into a new realm of consciousness where ideas, our intellect, and really creating newer, fresher, more sustainable structures for our existence becomes the main focus. Okay? I hope that makes sense. So, time to deepen the values. Okay, so that is the theme of this video. It's about your value. This is about personal value. This is about you as an individual here on earth. You as an individual, you are a body. You are a celestial body. You are a physical manifestation of the cosmos. So you are part of that earthly realm of, you know, this greater lesson. And of course, you know, so is the world in which you inhabit, your home, your possessions, all of that. So it's going to be really important to like learn the lesson of your own personal value and what it is that you value. Okay. Like what it is you value about yourself first and foremost. And like if there are certain possessions that you value, why? Why do you value those possessions? Like if you were to move across the country, it's kind of like, well, what are the things that you would bring with you, and what can you get rid of, and what would you take with you? But that's but we're gonna see. We're gonna pull the cards. So I know that was a really long introduction, and I apologize if that's not something that you're vibing with, but that is the thing. I've given every video so far, every zodiac sign, my long introduction, because that's just where we're at right now. And for me to do these mid-December readings without really wrapping up the energy of 2020, I feel would be a disservice to you guys and to myself and to my channel. So yeah, so I have, and then falling, because we've been so like obsessed with consumption and like wanting more, wanting more information, there's not going to be any of that over here. Like usually I pull like a bunch of cards, like 10 cards, but we're really going to focus in, we're really going to return to a sense of value and return to a sense of our inner meaning. We need to find the meaning in things again. You know, we open a Google browser, read an article, and then read another article, and then read another article, you know, just kind of like processing this information as if it's like quicksand. And we just kind of like, and it just gives us anxiety. It brings our body into these, you know, kind of horrible feelings. We're too stressed out. We don't know what's going on. And that's not sustainable. That's not good for us. When we read an article, we need to actually like reflect on that article. We need to take the time to understand what it is that we actually like, what is our opinion of the article, not just like, oh, you know, letting information manipulate us into thinking a certain way. Like we've gotten to the point where we're allowing information to manipulate us, and that's not the path for humanity. That's not the path for humanity. We need to be free thinkers. We need to be in line with our personal inner values. Okay? So you need to take the time when you expose yourself to something to really reflect and really allow your soul and your spirit to speak to you in reference to how it is you truly feel about what you're reading or what you're witnessing. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm going to pull 3 cards, okay? So we're doing Vintage Wisdom Oracle, Enchanted Map Oracle, and Influence of the Angels Tarot, okay? So we're starting with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. We're going to see what's going on here. So we have healing. Healing. Okay, so this is going to be an important time. You might have felt very much affected by a lot of the things that have been happening in 2020 because, you know, Libra, even though you guys are an air sign, I know that there's this deeply sensitive part of you where it's like you just want everybody to get along. You just want everything to be in harmony. And when you feel like things are in disorder, I mean, you guys do represent balance, you represent justice, you represent harmony. So when things are out of balance and things are out of order, it really hurts you on a deeper level. Okay? And it's in your it's like your deeper mission in life to heal the reconciling differences. Like one of the great qualities of Libra is the ability to see like both sides, or to not take a side, or to kind of like seek justice in information. So this is like a big part of your healing. You know, it's like healing all these energies. This is like your value. You know, your value is your like ability to heal opposing viewpoints like within yourself. It's kind of like this, like there's these two bottles over here. One bottle. I really do see this as like almost like a representation. Even though healing, interestingly enough, in every oracle card can equate to a tarot card. Like it can be like an equivalent representation of a tarot card. And healing usually is represented by like temperance or the star card in tarot. But for some reason, I'm actually really feeling this as like just like the healing card, the justice card, or like the Four of Swords. You guys in tarot are also the Four of Swords, which is Jupiter and Libra. And it's like a sense of allowing different energies to just like dissolve. Cause like I see these two bottles over here as like apothecary bottles, you know, like these are like healing scents, you know, and they kind of like dissolve into the senses. So when you are like, if you're using aromatherapy, for example, and you're like smelling these different things, the combination of those scents dissolve like within you, and they kind of like commingle. So this could also very much be like temperance. I do kind of see this as like the temperance card as well, which is very much about, which is a Sagittarius card, and it's very much about kind of mixing different elements, like taking an idea from here, taking an idea from here, and letting it dissolve, and like healing the wounds of it in order to allow harmony to coalesce, in order to allow those differences to kind of like mingle and give it time to come up and blossom into something new where it can cohabitate. So that's like your power. Whether you're aware of it or not, that's kind of like your power. It's like your healing power coming to life. Aquarius got this card. So I don't know, like I'm really feeling some kind of interesting alignment with the other air signs. And like, I don't know, like it's so interesting to see how all the elemental signs are similar to each other and also how they're different. I've been learning a lot about deacons. All of us are born into a specific decan, right? So like Libra has 3 deacons, Scorpio has 3 deacons, Sagittarius has 3 deacons, and it just depends on where in the month you were born. They're all ruled by different archetypes. And I find that so significant because like we can share a lot of the same qualities with other elements or other signs, but then like, you know, and that's why I love astrology and tarot so much, because it can it can really get specific in terms of the dimensionality of it. And it can get really specific in reference to like where it falls on the astrological wheel. Okay, that's something that like I would have to explain further, and I'll probably do it in a different video. So let's get back to the reading. So yeah, coming to life, this is like after all that stuff mixes, after the healing is done, after those different energies come together within you, like what are you birthing? Like what's blossoming out of that? What new idea? And remember, we're moving into the age of ideas, into progressive thinking, into free, like we need to be free thinkers. We need to think for ourselves. We need to not be such consumers of information, but actually like take the information, allow it to settle, allow yourself to find meaning in it, to discover what it is you truly think, feel, and believe about that information. And then like as it filters through your own value system, you bring a new level of awareness into the world based on your own personal perspective. So that is what is needed right now, is clear-minded thinking and new ways of thinking and new perspectives. Okay? So this is what's going to be important for you. And this is your value, is being able to do that, is like naturally being able to kind of like melt together different sides of the story and kind of melt it and then spring forth with a new vision. Got it? Are you following me? And then for the tarot card, we have the Eight of Swords, and this is Jupiter in Gemini. So it's you might face some challenges, and we have the North Node in Gemini right now, okay? And like we are in Sagittarius season, so Sagittarius season tends to really expand our thoughts. So if you do become too much in your head about it, it could cause you to get stuck. You could start to feel like stuck in your own thoughts and in your own perspectives, not really knowing which direction to go, not really knowing what perspective to follow. That's kind of what I'm getting. It's kind of like, and I know that Libras are kind of known to have a hard time making decisions. I don't know if that's true for you guys, but there is kind of this feeling of not really knowing how to communicate your views. Like feeling them on a deeper level, but not fully knowing how to communicate them quite yet. And that could be a lot to do with this Sagittarius energy, which is forcing us to get rid of older, less sympathetic values in favor of more grounding values. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, so you could start to feel like trapped in your head about it, and this is why it's going to be important to really tune in to what it is you value, okay? And to like start with that. Start with asking yourself that question of like, what is it that you value? What is it that you value about yourself? Because once you can answer that question, what is it you can value about yourself? like, that's where the expression of it is going to start. Anything that restricts and stops the expression of yourself, those are outside forces making you feel like your expression of yourself is not worth expressing. And that's bullshit. That's exactly what we need to move away from, is like living in fear of what other people are going to think. And that's, in all honesty, kind of what I see happening here. It's kind of like being fearful of what other people are going to think. And that's not good for your development. It's not good for your growth, and it's not really good for your soul. The whole point is to be able to express these, and to be true to yourself, and to be able to express yourself in an authentic way. That's going to be the big theme going into 2021, is really learning about your authenticity. And that's exactly what we need for the years to come. So this is your reading, Libra. I hope you come back to watch more videos from me. I do monthly and bi-monthly. And I'm also going to be posting a get to know me through astrology video as well. I want you guys to get to know me because I want to get to know you guys, and I want you to be able to reach out to me and be like, hey, I would love it if you do my natal chart, or just chit chat about maybe my own personal experiences, things that I have in my chart, and things that I've gone through in my life that maybe you guys can relate to. So yeah, so this is your reading. I hope that this is going to help you for whatever the rest of the month is going to bring you in terms of learning our 2020 lessons before we jump into 2021. So until next time, bye.